Hello, kindergartners. Mrs. Edmiston here.
This will be our lesson for Tuesday and Wednesday.
For our first lesson of the day for reading is practicing our letter names. We're going to say the letters, and then we're going to practice writing them on the board like we do in class. And for that, I'm just going to need you to use your dry erase sheet protectors and dry erase markers, okay? But we're going to start off by saying our letter names. This is the letter A. Next we have the letter B. Next we have the letter C. Next we have the letter D. And last we have the letter E. This is Edmiston's favorite. All right, class. Now that we've done those, we are going to grab our dry erase boards that I sent home. Since I couldn't send home your boards, I'm just sending home I just sent home your sheet protectors. So grab those sheet protectors and your dry erase markers. Once you have those, I want you to snap, crackle, pop them. So take the lid off, snap it onto the end so that you don't lose your lids. Make sure you have something like a Kleenex or something to wipe your sheet protector with, and then come back and join us, okay? So you can pause the video while you go get your materials and then come back. Hello, friends. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you got your sheet protectors, and I'm gonna zoom us in here to Bob the board, and we're gonna practice writing our letters. We're gonna start with the letter A, and we're gonna practice writing the letter A on the board. First, we'll start with the capital letter, and then we'll write the lowercase letter, okay? So have your markers out, and here we go. This is a slanted line, so we're gonna start at the top, and then we're going to bring our line down, but not straight. It's gonna be kind of like towards the your left-hand side corner, and then over here, we're gonna do the same thing, but we want our line to go a little bit to our right side, okay? Once we're done there, take our marker off, find as close to the middle of the letter A that you can, and then cross it. That is the letter A. Everybody say A. A. Nice job. All right, clear your board and erase. Now, I want you to practice your lowercase a. We're going to make a circle, and once you're done with your circle, you're going to make a line there at the end, and that is the letter A. Nice job. Now that we've done our two letters, I'd like to show you what the letter looks like if we had our kindergarten handwriting guides. So for this, I'm going to make one solid line across, and that's to show the sky. Then I'm gonna show you the green dash to show the grassy area of the middle, and then with our brown line, solid brown line at the bottom, that's the ground. Now I'm gonna show you how these two letters look as far as, the size. So we're gonna start with the letter A, capital A, okay? We're gonna start here at the sky because all capital letters are tall. Then they go past the grassy middle, and they stop right here on the brown line. We take our marker off, bring it back to the top, right there in the sky, and then we bring it back down there to the ground. We stop there. We're going to join that A or cross it, okay, there on the grassy middle. And there's our capital A, nice and tall. Our lowercase a is going to stay in this middle area here. So we're going to start at the top, because all of our letters start at the top. We're going to bring it into a circle, okay? And then we're going to cross it right there at the end of that circle, okay? And there you have your capital A, that, as you can see, is super tall. And then a lowercase a stays here in the middle. Nice job, friends. Go ahead and erase your boards. Okay, now we're going to move on to our letter B, okay? We're gonna practice our letter B. And so we're going to start by having our markers nice and tight, and we're gonna start at the top, make a nice straight line down to the bottom, okay? Take your marker off, and then bring it back up to the top, and then we're gonna bring it half around, and then half around. And that's how you make a capital B. Okay? Go ahead, say B, and then erase it, and get ready for the lowercase b. The lowercase b is really neat because it's tall like a capital letter, but it's missing one of the loops. So you make a straight line, but then you only bring it up and around there, halfway. So we leave out the top half circle, okay? All right, so just like the other one, we're gonna erase, and you're gonna wait a second so Miss Edmiston can make your kindergarten handwriting line so that you can see the size. So there's our sky, here's our grassy area, and here is the dirt on the ground. We're gonna start with our capital B on that top line, the sky. We're gonna bring it down to the dirt, then we're gonna bring it back up, and look at how neat. We actually make that first loop right along that dashed middle line, and then bring it back there again. Then our lowercase b is actually a tall letter, just like our capital, and some of the letters are tall even though they're lowercase. We're gonna make a tall line to the bottom, but you're gonna bring your pencil right back up and around. There you go. And that is a lowercase b. Nice job, friends. Go ahead and erase your b. Next, we're going to make the letter C. And the letter C is pretty fun and pretty neat. Do you notice how they're the same? Exactly the same, but one is big and one is little. So the capital C is kind of like a half circle. We don't start at the tippy top. We kind of start a little bit on the side, and then we just bring it up and around. Okay, make it as big as you can. There you go. That's the letter C. It's almost like making a circle. We just don't close it up. Stop right there. Okay? Go ahead and erase. And then let's make a lowercase c, which is just smaller. Start kind of like lower here. And we do the same thing. We just don't close it up, okay? Say C. Nice job. Go ahead and erase. And Miss Edmiston's gonna make your kindergarten handwriting line. You don't have to do this, it's just so you can see the size of the letters, okay? And here's your grass, and then here's the ground. And here we go. So we're gonna start it right here at the top. So if this is the top of the line, we're gonna start it, I guess, in between the sky and the grass. I like to start it about right there in the middle, and then I bring it up, then around, and then I stop, okay? For the lowercase c, we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna start kind of like in the middle, in between the grassy area and the dirt. So I'm gonna start about right here, and bring it up, around, and then stop. And that's how you make the letter C. Nice job. Go ahead and erase the letter C, and we're gonna move on to the letter D. D. Can you say D? D. Very nice. All right, here we go. To make the capital D, I think the capital D is pretty fun. We make a straight line down, then take your marker off, bring it right back up to the top of that line, and then make a big half circle. Okay? And that's all. That's your letter D, capital D. Go ahead and erase that. Now let's make your lowercase d. The lowercase d is so much like a lowercase a, except it has a long stick at the top on the side. So we're gonna make a circle, and then we're gonna come up here and make a tall line that touches it, okay? That's how you make the letter D, the lowercase letter D. Go ahead and erase that. Edmiston's gonna make your kindergarten line so you can see the size of these letters. And there's your sky, then your grass, and the ground. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start with the letter D, the capital D. Start here at the top on the sky line, then you're gonna bring it down, stop here on the brown line, okay? Bring your marker right back here to the top, then bring it up over there. There you go, that's capital D. For the lowercase d, with your kindergarten line, whenever we move to this, so much easier. You're gonna start it here on the green line, make a circle, take your marker off, bring your marker to the top, and then you're gonna bring it straight down. There you go, to the bottom. And just make sure that they touch here, okay? You don't wanna be too far off so that they're not connected, and you don't wanna be too far this way so that it goes into your circle. Everybody say D. Nice job. The way that I like to show this lowercase d to some of my first graders is that I would make this into, I guess, like a little person, make like a little face here, and maybe have his hands this way or her hands this way, and we kind of call this like the diaper. So pretend that's like a little baby, and they're walking that way, and there's their diaper. So a D, you can make it so that the big bubble is kind of like a diaper on this side of the person if the people are always facing that way, okay? Go ahead and erase your paper. And our last letter for today is my favorite, the letter E. We're gonna start with the capital E, which is a nice straight line. Down. Take your marker off, bring it right back to the top of that line and bring it across. Find about the middle of your E, make another line across, and then bring it to the bottom of your line and bring it across. That is your capital E. Go ahead and erase that. To make a lowercase e, we're going to stay a little bit lower. We're going to make a line across, okay? Then we're gonna bring it up, and then when we bring it around, make sure that you touch right there, the beginning of the line that you just made, okay? And that is your lowercase e. Kind of reminds me of a C if it didn't have that line there. Do you see that? Yeah. Reminds me of the letter C. Remember when we made the letter C? Kind of has a letter C in it without that piece. Okay? All right, go ahead and erase your board. I'm going to make our kindergarten handwriting line. And we'll use this a lot more when we're ready. But because we're just learning to write our letters, we want to use as much white space as possible until our hands get really strong and we're able to really write these letters really super great. So now that we have the kindergarten line, I just want you to see how the capital E and the lowercase e, how tall or short they look, okay? So our capital E, of course, is really tall. It starts here on that blue line in the sky. Once we make the first line, we're gonna come back to the top and cross it right on that skyline. See, on the blue? And easy part is we're going to make a line on all three of our kindergarten lines. So we're gonna start here or continue here on our grassy line, and then we're gonna finish it off by making a line there on the bottom. That's our capital E, nice and tall. Our lowercase e is gonna stay in that middle area, okay? We're gonna make our line across in between the green dashed line and the brown solid line at the bottom. So about the middle, we're gonna make a line across. We're gonna keep our marker there. We're gonna bring it up until we touch that green, and then around until we touch that first line we made, and then around so that we touch the bottom, the green, and then we stop before they connect, okay? And that's the lowercase e.
Great job practicing your letters today.